Good afternoon, everyone. How do I sound here? Is it okay? Sounds good? What'd they say? I can't hear now. What did they say? Okay, I'd like to welcome and thank all of you for being here today to celebrate the life of Doyle Radford. I know each and every one of you have taken the time to be here, and we all thank you so much. We're going to open up with a prayer and then a beautiful song. Our opening prayer, would everyone bow their head, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today with sadness hearts. We lost a dear loved one. Be with us today and days to come with all your grace and mercy. In Matthew chapter 11, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Amen.
For me, for
My name is John. I'm Joanna's brother. And you know, that song, I'll just have to say this, we are going to miss Doyle greatly. But we miss that man that sang that song also. Doyle and I have been friends, I guess, for 40, 45 years. He asked me if I would do this today, and I told him, I'll give it my best shot, Doyle. So he said, come up to the house. I'm going to tell you what I want you to say today. I knew that'd make it a lot easier for me. So we got a piece of notebook paper here, and we started writing down. And this is what Doyle wanted me to say to everyone today. This is straight from Doyle. Doyle Radford, born in the year and month of June 14th, 1934. Now I'd like to ask, can anybody beat that number of 34 here today? No, I didn't think so. That was a long time ago, right at 90 years ago. He was born in Middle Fork, Madison County. He grew up in Middle Fork. He went to Beach Glen School. Do we all know that word, Beach Glen? Okay, that is country. That's a country place for sure. That is in the middle of nowhere in Madison County. I know a lot of you know where that is, but I'm sure there's some that don't. But it's a beautiful place. Good place to grow up in the country. He went there from the 1st grade to the 7th grade. Then moved to Mount Airy for the 8th grade for 1 year. Then back to Madison County, Middle Fork again, from the 9th grade to the 12th grade, where he graduated at Mars Hill High School. After graduation, his first job was at Cress's. Do any of you know that name? I'm sure Frank does, and some of you older people do. Cress's, was a department store and place uptown. Am I right? Huh? Been gone for a long time. Okay. Then, he got married then, but he got drafted into the Army, where he stayed for 2 years. He got out, and he went back to his old job at Cress's. From there, he went to work at the American Inca plant in February of 1959. He worked there for 35 years to 1994. Married, had 2 daughters, 2 lovely daughters, I should say, Sandra and Vicky, who he loved very much. Doyle was a musician and played and sang in several bands. And may I say, one of the best bands that he played in was, he played in some professional bands, They played at the Moose Lodge in different places. But one of the best bands that I heard him play in was down at Douglas Lake with Tom. Tom was the owner of the campground down there at the lake. Doyle and Tom would get together and we'd have a pretty big crowd, and they could really turn on some good music, okay? Some old-time music. Frank knows what I'm talking about. So, anyhow, that was one of the best bands that I knew he was in. And he loved to spend time with friends. down at the lake and has lived with Joanna as his companion for over 30 years. You know what? You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to bring up another thing about that. I asked Doyle one time, I asked him, Doyle, I said, Doyle, 30 years. I said, how did you do that? My record doesn't show that from myself. And his reply was, I learned to keep my mouth shut. He loved a cold drink, a cold beverage. Met Joanna at the Moose Lodge and asked her, he knew of Joanna, but he asked her what she was doing here. She replied, I'm having a beer. Doyle said, let me buy that beer. And then he says he has been buying that beer for her for 30 years. Doyle wanted for everyone after the services, if you care to go by, and we'll have a cold one on him. Okay. That's the letter he wanted me to read for everyone. Now, where was I? He asked me. Okay, like I say, let me tell you how I met Doyle. I met him at the Moose Lodge also. He was in a game of pool. I come in, went by the bar, got my cold beverage, and I proceeded to go back to the pool room. And I did. And back there, Doyle was shooting pool. Well, back in them days, what you do, or what you done, was put your money up on the table and say, I'll challenge the table. And that's what I done. I challenged the table. And when he got through with that, ever who he was shooting with, it was my turn. I said, okay, I get to beat this old boy out of here with a cold beer here, maybe, you know? But after giving Doyle and paying for his beer for 4 times, I finally give up. I said, this guy's unreal. You know, I cannot beat him. But you know what? Doyle was a master at anything that he done. We all know that. He was. He could do anything. Excuse me. He could build a house. He could build a car engine. I don't know of anything Doyle Radford could not do. He was a very intelligent person. Just as good as any engineer that I ever thought about being or anybody else. He loved fishing. He loved bowling. He was a bowler now. Frank can tell you that about that again. He was a bowler, and he got another buddy of his here somewhere that was a bowler with him. He must have left. Yeah, he did. Excuse me. And you should see his trophy case at home. He's got a lot of trophies in his trophy case. He was a musician. He played music, as we all know. You can see by the pictures that you know he loved his music. He was really, really good at it. He could pick that guitar, and he could sing also. I've seen him many a nights down at the Moose Lodge playing and down at the lake. He was great. He loved his family dearly. He loved to do and make memories. Him and Joanna certainly made plenty. He did. You can all see, I'm going to make mine short again. You can all see from these pictures that Doyle had a great life. He was a big, tall, good-looking man, and he had a beautiful companion. But like I say, thank you all for coming out. We have another speaker And that'll be Miss Sandra. Where are you, Sandra? Oh, there you are behind. I couldn't see you because of this flag. Look at here. There you are. Okay, Sandra, it's your turn. As a matter of fact, Sandra was responsible for most of these pictures, I'm sure. Her and Joanna also. She was. And we appreciate that, Sandra, very much. You got it, girl.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, thank everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. My daddy. Today I have the honor and the heartbreak standing here to celebrate the life of my father, a man who truly defined what it means to be a father, a friend, and a guiding light. In reflecting on my dad's life, I'm struck by how incredibly fortunate I was to have him as my father. And through everything I've been through and everything Hope went through, I've come to understand how rare that is. So many people never have the kind of foundation that he provided, not just to me, but to everyone who was blessed to know him. Dad was a man of unwavering integrity. He instilled in me the values of kindness, honesty, empathy, and the importance of helping others. These weren't lessons he spoke about, these were lessons that he lived. By his example, I learned what it means to be strong yet compassionate, self-reliant yet giving, principled yet approachable. And Hope, my beautiful daughter, learned these lessons too because of him. My dad stepped into her life in all the ways she needed, from fixing things around the house to teaching how to work hard. He became the kind of father figure she was missing. He wasn't just her grandpa, he was her hero. She absolutely adored him, and I know he adored her just as much. My dad was a friend to so many, a true man's man. If you needed him, he was there, no matter the hour, though I'd advise against calling him at 2 a.m. from jail. He was their friend. Although he would be there. He'd help anyone as long as they were willing to help themselves. And that included me, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way because that's how he raised me. Dad's life is even more extraordinary when you consider that he didn't have his own father to guide him. His dad was taken from him when he was just 6 weeks old, yet somehow he grew into the kind of father most of us could only hope for. He was strong, silent type, a man of few words, but endless wisdom. He was my big, scary daddy doll. Larger than life, steadfast, and unshakable. As I stood with him during his final moments, I saw his humanity and his vulnerability. He was unsure about what came next. But I told him what I know in my heart. He has nothing to fear. He lived a life of kindness, love, and generosity. When he pointed across the room that night, I turned around to look. And I looked back at him, and he pointed, and I looked at him, and he said, I knew she'd come to guide him just as he had guided her during his life. The world feels unbearably empty without him, but I feel his presence in every moment. I know he isn't truly gone. Hope will make sure that she teaches him the ropes. It's her turn now. And I know he'll visit me when I need him the most, just as he always has done. Dad, you were one of a kind. You were my rock, my teacher, and my biggest protector. Thank you for everything you gave me and everyone whose lives you touched. You leave behind a legacy of love, strength, and selflessness that will never be forgotten. Rest easy, my daddy. I love you. You didn't sit down a little bit. You're supposed to be
Thank you, Miss Sandy. Good.
Thank you, John. One lips.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
At this time, I'd like to ask if anyone would like to bring out some of the memories or anything you want to say about Doyle and the good times we've all had all of our lives. I'm sure someone in here or several have things to say. If you want, you come up here and say it or stand and say it, just whatever you want to do. Do we have someone? Timothy. Good. Come on up where everyone can hear you.
I have so many memories with Doyle. I'm Timothy. I was his great nephew. And I can honestly say that, and I'm speaking for Anna, speaking for Hope, speaking for all the grands, all of us kids, that none of us would have had the childhood we had without Doyle. Going to the camper, and oh goodness, the stories we could tell of being on the pontoon and jumping off of it, going fishing. One of my favorite memories is me and Hope on the golf cart. Sandra knows exactly what I'm talking about, where John was there too.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Hope got a little too confident with the golf cart and was going pretty fast downhill and thought, well, we can look away. You know, we don't have to pay no attention. And went right into a mailbox. And it wasn't just one time, it was twice. Same trip. And I think the same mailbox, actually. But John and Doyle went and helped us put it back up, because we thought we were in for it. Also, the time that we were driving and doing donuts in the gravel and cut just a little bit too close to the cross tie, and I mean we got some air and went right over it, and I mean it landed right on top of it. And me and Hope, we didn't even know whether we should go tell somebody, but we couldn't lift it. But scared us to death. And Doyle and John come over, and we're just sitting there shaking. We're so scared. And Doyle and John come over, and Doyle just kind of looks at it for a second. And, oh, y'all have done it now. You know, and we thought we were just in for it. But we weren't. Doyle and John just picked it right up, set it right back in the gravel. Another great memory for me is always playing music with Doyle. And I wouldn't be the guitarist, the musician, the singer that I am right now without Doyle. He inspired me to play the guitar. I go up there many times, play guitar, and Frank knows too, play guitar and play harmonica. And Doyle, he just had he had a different way of playing. He knew what he was doing, and he was the most professional person I've ever played with. He could just give you that look, and you knew to keep playing just the way you were, and he was going to take that lead lick. And there was nobody that could play just like Doyle. There was nobody that could sing just like Doyle except Conway Twitty, you know. Hello, darling. So every time I go see Dole, even this last time I went and saw Dole, first thing he always says to me, let me see your fingers. All right, Dole. I have to show him my fingers. All right, you've been playing. I got to make sure you got them calluses. Don't get rid of them. You ain't gonna be able to play. So, yeah, we're all gonna miss Dole greatly. Dole was a great man. He was always there for us. He was there for me and Mom a lot when we moved. Several times, helped us move out, and I mean, he was always there if you needed him. All you had to do was call. So yeah, we're gonna miss Dole a whole lot, and we love him a lot. So thank you.
Thanks, Doc. Good job. Thanks. Good job. Thank you. Yes, someone else? Debbie? How about that? He sure was that now. We all know Dole would help anyone. He'd help anybody that he could. Okay, someone else, I'm sure. Anna, that's good. All right, let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. A little bit louder. Okay. You have anything you want to get up and say? You sure? Okay. Who's next? I know somebody's got a story out there. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for sharing those memories of Dole with all of us. We were there also. We know. Okay. We will close now with a word of prayer again, and then we will do the military honors. Pardon me? We do. I'm sorry I missed that. I missed it, Nanny. Thank you. Your song, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Yeah, that was right after Sandra. Okay, we will play that song at this time. One More Day by Diamond Rio.
Last night I had a crazy dream. Wish was granted just for me. It could be for anything. I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu. I simply wished for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day. First thing I do is pray for time to grow. I'd unplug the telephone, keep the TV off. I'd hold you every second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do with one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day. Leave me wishing still for one more day. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day, one more day.
What a beautiful song. And yes, so true. Would wish one more day. Okay. It's time now for our closure with a prayer again. Then we'll have military honors. Would everyone bow their head again? In Revelations 21, chapter 21, behold the dwellings of God with men. He will dwell with them, and they with him. He will wipe away every fear and every tear, and death shall be no more. No mourning, no crying, no pain. Former things have all passed. That's in Revelation chapter 21. Okay, we'll have our military